Hello and welcome to How to Play Fred Solitaire, a game for one player. This game comes to us from the 250 Plus Solitaires app. You'll need two decks of cards. Go ahead and remove the jokers and shuffle those cards together. You're going to be dealing a 5 by 10 column, so 10 columns of 5 cards. And you're going to be able to play cards by moving them to a higher ranked card, one higher than the card that you're moving. If you happen to move them all to the same suit, you'll be able to move that entire stack of cards to another card if the play is legal. So let's say I have that 4 of spades there. I can move it to a 5 of any color. A suit will not matter. But I'm only able to move a stack if it's all of the same suit and it's going somewhere where there's a legal play. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is mostly an odds and favor game. With enough thinking and enough consideration, you should be able to unlock this puzzle each time. It is pretty forgiving. Just don't make any mistakes early on. And what's going to happen when we're done making moves, when we have no other moves to make, or we no longer wish to make any moves, we're then going to take our draw deck in hand, and we're going to place one card on the bottom column of each column. And we're going to do that because that's basically how this game works. Now, any vacancy that occurs in the columns, you can fill with any card that you want. So there's no extinguished vacancies like some solitaires. So you're able to keep playing on those vacancies. And that's what gives this game an odds and favor setting. Most of the time, you're going to be able to think your way through this. You're going to see legal moves a few moves ahead of time. That's really what you have to do. Consider a few moves ahead of the schedule compared to what you're doing now. See if there's anything that works. And even though there might be moves on the table, you might not wish to make those moves. You might want to save them for later. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your prerogative. If you want to do it, you're allowed to make that decision. As far as whether it's strategic or helps or not, that I cannot really tell you for certain. But there is a lot of things that you can do in this game. Pretty interesting. It's one of those games that I like. And now I'm seeing a legal move here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to see that 7 of spades in time before I start moving more cards on top. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Or more than likely, I'm considering what to do with that vacancy. And yes, that's what it was. Now I have 2 vacancies, so there's 2 columns of cards. I can start filling in with any card that I would like. So I'll go ahead and move that 6 there, and then wonder why I did that. Maybe I was aiming for something else. Let's see. Okay, that's not too bad of a move. And then I was able to play those. Unfortunately, when I recorded this, I didn't have my foundations on top visible. I probably should have checked the camera before I went ahead and set to record. But for the most part, this is going to be a solitaire that you should always be able to solve. Very easy, very forgiving. And once you're out of cards in your draw deck, you're going to have your last deal be only 4 cards just by the nature of how the math works, the arithmetic works for this game. So when it comes time to end your draw deck, you'll just go from left to right. That's always how you're going to deal cards when dealing from the draw deck. You're never going to do it another way. I guess you could. Wouldn't really change the game up too much. So just something to consider. If you want to play this game a different way, I don't think it's going to alter the solvability of this solitaire. This is a pretty much odds in favor. There's so much leeway in how many cards you have present, how many moves are available at any given time. The only way you can really mess this up is to miss a move or make illegal moves. Other than that, this is a fairly odds in favor solitaire. And I started worrying when I was playing this game in particular. I started worrying I might have messed up or that I wouldn't have moves available. But the longer you stare at it, the more likely you are to see a move that you missed with your eyes. So don't necessarily give up early. Double check, triple check before you start drawing from your draw deck. All right, there's the final draw. I have no more cards. Those were the last 4. So I was looking at what I possibly needed in this time. And there's somewhere around here, my camera decided to shut off. It does the auto shut off. I really need to get a better camera, I think, something that can record. Some of these solitaires just take forever, especially when I'm playing them and administering them myself versus playing it on a website or playing it on an app where it administers it for me. Sometimes my camera will just shut off, and yeah, definitely need to get a better camera. So I think I had to get up and start over pretty soon here, and that's when I'm going to adjust the camera so we can see the foundation piles, because I realized I did not allow you to see the foundations. So that stack there is done. We have a vacancy. We can fill it with any card. I see a 10-9 of diamonds for that jack right there. Then I'll put it there. That gives me one other foundation pile, or one other column to fill. I have now a vacancy on the left pile. Okay, so I've adjusted the camera. Let's see how we're going to do now. Okay, everything's coming together, looking really good. I have that 6 of diamonds stack. I could put right on that 7 of diamonds, and I'll just go ahead and put like with like at this point. Now we're just racing. Now we're just finishing up. This game's pretty much solved at this point. So now it's just a matter of moving cards onto the foundation piles, and we pretty much have this game. So now I'm just going to do 2 hands, and there we go. We have one, so yay! And so, like always, if you actually want to play some cards that aren't solitaire, but, you know, cards with people that you don't know, otherwise known as strangers, otherwise known as friends you haven't yet met, come to the subreddit Card Game Meetups. It's important that all of you do that. Post your city, what games you know, what games you want to play, and what public place, and keyword public. Don't go to somebody's home that you don't know, but go to a public place where your safety is in numbers and you can be seen in case anything happens. We also have a link to a Discord server where we talk about card games all day, every day, so call up your friends and let them know you'd like to play some cards. They might say yes and they might say no, but you never know unless you call and ask. And it's very important that you do call and ask. So do like and subscribe and share these videos with other people you know love playing cards. And I'm not really wanting another 2000 election situation, but if you notice under the community tab, Liverpool, Rummy, and Eat and Run are virtually tied right now, and the month is almost over. So somebody please vote for one of those candidates for Game of the Month. And I want to thank today's musician, Sheet Music Boss, and I'll see everybody next video.